David Haire, so nice to visit with you. You are our very first European interview for Moving Up 2020. So thank you for volunteering to be the first one.
No problem at all, John. It's an absolute pleasure. Absolute pleasure.
Well, thank you. And I guess, David, the first question is, the book's been out now for about 2 months, roughly. I know you guys have just recently gotten copies over in that part of the world. How are you using Moving Up to introduce people to your organization?
Yeah, well, basically, the book itself, first of all, John, is superb. I've read it, obviously, I've only read it twice now. I only received it there about 10 days ago. But basically, I mean, as a business book, it's superb for people who are looking for really, a second income, as we are doing with our current business. What I find is it gives us, first of all, great credibility to be in a book. So whenever we're chatting to people about what we're doing is building a second income stream as a home-based business, I find that it gives you great credibility to be able to say to people, there's a guy called John Solleder. He's an industry legend. He's been in the business for over 35 years, and he thought enough of us to include us in his latest book. So I mean, that's a big deal, I think. And I think most folks, whenever I say that to them, they sort of you sort of see that they sort of get a bit more attentive, and they go, oh, and who's this guy, and you're in the book, and where are you in the book, and stuff like that there. So yeah, it's a big deal, and I think hopefully in the few people that I've spoken to about it over the last couple of weeks, I think they've taken on board as is a big deal, and it does give great credibility to us,
Great. Yeah, and one of the things we tried to incorporate in the book was enough different variety of people. Yourself being in Belfast, for example. We've got a couple of other people that are in Spain and in London. We obviously have somebody in Spain in the book. We have people in Mexico, the Dominican Republic, obviously here in the United States and Canada, but also, more importantly, the expanse of age. The youngest person in the book's 21 years old. The oldest person's 82 years old. We've got every demographic: male, female, single, married, couples, everything, because, that's really the fabric of the network marketing business. I'm sure you'd agree is, there's all sorts of people, all different walks of life, part-time, full-time. And we really wanted to illustrate that for people so that they would kind of get that messaging,
Yeah, well, it certainly done the job. As you say, there's people from all backgrounds, all age groups. And I think, every single person that we talk to, we find taking our business forward, there's someone in the book that they can relate to. And I think that's a big thing, because what I find is with this whole home-based business is there's a fear factor with a lot of people. It's the fear of failure. The fear I can't do it. He can do it, but I can't do it, or she can do it and I can't do it. And the book really illustrates that really, all walks of life, no matter what age you are, what your background is, you can be a success if you want to. And that's the key to it. So yeah, so a lot of people can relate to various people. It's a bit like, with our own business with testimonials. For example, you could talk all about the product and the science or whatever, and the company and how strong the company is and all the rest of it. But that one testimonial, someone suddenly then can relate to that. And that's what, gets you the customer or gets you the distributor. It's just that one particular piece of information that sort of is a light bulb moment for a lot of folks, So that's the good thing about the book.
Exactly. Yeah, no, you're very right, because it's kind of like somebody resonates with them, that they go, hey, that guy's like me, that girl's like me, that couple's like us, type of thing. So let's talk a little bit. Your kids. Have you had a chance to visit with them and show them your story in print?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's sort of mixed reactions. They're probably not old enough to realize what a big deal it is to be in a book. I think they thought, oh, that's pretty cool, And that's probably about as far as it got. I think as they get older, they'll probably realize that, the scope of this book, going, all over the world in many different languages as well, I think it's going to be a big deal. And I think maybe as they get a bit older, they'll realize that, it's pretty special to have, your name in print,
Well, it is, and it kind of leads me to the next question, which is, we talk about legacy a lot, and I know as some of us get older, myself included, you start thinking about, what's the legacy that you've created, not only in your business, but more importantly in your life. And, being part of a book, of course, the books like Jim Rohn told me years and years ago, your bookshelf's going to live on a lot past us, our time here on the planet. But having said that, okay, as far as legacy, you've been very successful in business for very many years. And I know that's important to you, in the other business life that you have, your traditional business life.
Yeah.
But, how does this help you with your legacy to create it, not only, for your children, but eventually, grandchildren and, going down the road, what's the legacy part of this for you?
Well, I mean, the legacy thing is, obviously with the business model, I mean, we've only been involved in, direct sales now for 4 years. And really we're sort of finding our feet, we're building a foundation for that. And we're really excited about, next year, 2020 and beyond, as the book states. We're very excited about it because we can see a lot more traction within the business, a lot more input and help, and a lot of people locking arms and really getting together with this. So the idea with the home-based business is that, as you say, we've always been self-employed, have always had businesses that we have been successful with. But with those, I found that we had to, you had to be hands-on working those. And, if I wasn't physically working or speaking to folks and building the business, then I wasn't making any money. So that's what I loved about the direct sales business. And that's what attracted us to it was, do the job once right and get paid month after month after month. And I think there's more and more folks looking for that sort of plan B. A lot of people, in fact, I was at the gym last week, and I met a guy, and he said to me, do you know what? He was sort of watching what we were doing, watching things on Facebook, and he says, I've been working in the same place for 15 years, and it's went in a flash, and he was sort of thinking to himself, I mean, I'm no further forward. And that's what people do. They just get by. They're no further forward. And, I think as Jim Rohn says as well, if you keep doing what you're doing, you'll keep getting what you're getting, So, and for things to change, you must change, and so that's sort of starting to, we're going to have a conversation next week to see, is our business model something that will suit him? But he's at that point. I spoke to the guy about 2 years ago, and timing wasn't right. He's coming around thinking, now, is there something that I could be doing, or what's my options? What's my alternative? So I think more and more people are starting to look at this as a very viable second income stream, if not a full-time income stream. So certainly legacy-wise, I would like to see putting a bit more effort into my home-based direct sales business. And look at it becoming full-time in the future. And that obviously opens up a whole lot of things with travel and where you live and all of those types of things, which is great.
So tell me this, what's the next 10 years look like? I mean, you kind of just said that, but I mean, you have some plans and some things you want to do and accomplish. So what's the next decade look like?
Next 10 years, basically, is to really start to build and work on this foundation that we've put together over the last 4 years. My existing businesses, there's only so much I can get from those because the time is limited in how many hours you can work per week. So with the direct sales business, I can start to really build on that and leverage time. So the plan is to get the direct sales business up to a full-time income level, and then really start to grow on that going forward over the next 10 years. And again, the kids, my oldest son, he's involved with the business. He's not doing an awful lot with it. He's doing a little bit with it. But when he sees his dad and mum and dad and things like, these books and, achieving, qualifying for trips, and he's sort of thinking, yeah, maybe there's something happening here. Maybe Dad's doing something right. Maybe I could get a piece of this, and he's starting to look at it a little bit more closely as an income stream as well. So yeah, who knows? It could be a family business.
Great. Well, nothing wrong with that, certainly. So just in closing, I'm new. I've just read the book. I've just got introduced to whatever direct selling company I've joined. Give me a Reader's Digest version. What do I do to really jumpstart my business and get it started quickly?
First thing to do is obviously read the book. Some superb tips, and let the new person know that they will relate to, as I said earlier, someone in the book. And get a mentor. Find someone that's done it, is willing to help and teach you, be teachable, and basically work alongside someone and do as they say. I met you, John, just over 4 years ago, and you've been incredible help to us, in flying, across to Belfast on many occasions to help out with prospects and host meetings and whatnot. So it's just lock arms with someone that's willing to teach you and be teachable. A lot of people think lose the ego. A lot of people that are successful in business have an ego, and where this business is completely different. To lose the ego and be willing to learn, really, and go for it, basically.